4chan is a forbidden place. But once again, we're gonna have to go for this. So you guys keep sending me, like always, more things, more reasons to go back to. What are you doing? Every single time you guys do this, I always fall for it, but I always record it just in case, so I don't want to miss my reaction. So 4chan VP, you guys have been saying that there's been new Pokemon leaked here or something like that. So it's One Piece. I'm not showing you that. These are the leaks, guys. So hey 4chan, welcome back to 4chan. So these are the leaks, okay? So someone at Game Freak apparently came home and they drew every single Pokemon, including their types and name, from memory, which you know is difficult, but apparently that's what this is. And I gotta admit, this is extremely cool because one, ignore whether it's fake or real or not, you get to just not only just see Pokemon with their types and, oh, here's the freaking kidney Pokemon, but you get to see a depiction of how they would look. Like, look at this. This is like a Venusaur top with the little sprouting freaking plant, and then it grows into this, and then it's a full-on leaf monster, and then you got the fire starter and the water starter, and just so many Pokemon all the way down to the bottom. And I just want to look over it, but first I kind of just want to organize this just so it's more easier for you guys to look at. So I'll be right back. Thankfully, someone actually took the courtesy to do what I was just about to do. So now we have every single Pokemon with their type and their name completely visible, and we could just go for it, which is crazy. I just looked ahead at this list, and this list is so cool. Now, when you're watching it, make sure you just imagine that it's real, because it's not confirmed whether it's fake or real. It could be real. There could be someone from Game Freak, because this takes a lot of work to do. Still can be faked, but can be real. But, you know, if you imagine these as real as you're watching it, you're gonna enjoy this list so much more. So to start off, we've got the grass line, the fire line, as well as the water line. And the cool thing is that the grass line is grass psychic, the fire line is firefighting, jeez, and the water line is water dark, which is almost like an extra spin from the Gen 6 starter, so everything is reversed again. And that's cool, because now the types can fight each other. Like the fire guy can take on the water guy now, which is cool, but it's almost like a fan-made thing. I don't know if they're ever gonna do that, but it does make sense. And then you've got the normal type of the region, which is just a freaking, the hell is that? Ullaby, Roofery, as well as Biwalaby. Now, it's cool because Ullaby looks like a little freaking rabbit that has a snake body. Roofery just looks like the rabbit completely comes out. And then Biwalaby freaking looks like a kangaroo. And it's cool because there's actually a female Biwalaby and a male one. A normal fighting type, man. That's actually a really cool combination. Freaking give it like elemental punches, make it really fast. It doesn't have to be like super defensive, but if it was, that would be awesome. In fact, the fact that there's a male and female version almost seems like there's one, like the male would fight and the female would guard. Maybe even the opposite, because the mother would protect the baby. And then you've got the local flying type of the region, which is going to be a dark flying type, Gurjoy, who evolves into Sinitramo. To have the local bird be a dark type is kind of weird. Like, I thought Hoot Hoot was a dark type at first, but they've never really, except for Talonflame, so, you know, maybe they could. And then you move on to Sefnik, who evolves into Jolamparos, an electric type, so I guess this is the Pikachu of the region. It's like a Pikachu on all fours, who evolves into this, like, this thing looks like a little dog, and it's got, like, the long, cute ears, as well as its tail is almost like Charizard, but with electricness. Weird, but cool. Then you've got Porcela, a grass type that either evolves into Tintorix or Cuscoat, which is cool because if it evolves into Tintorix, right now it just looks weird. It just looks like a little baby. But then it can evolve with a Tintorix, which turns it into a humanoid fairy type, or it evolves into Cuscoat, which turns it into a humanoid-like poison type. And poison and fairy are pretty much counterparts. I know you could say dragon and fairy, but for poison, it's poison and fairy. Wow, you've got an entire normal flying trio. Oline, Bunoline, and Spurline. Which is weird. Are these going to be the local bird types or these? Again, these aren't confirmed at all, but it's just so cool to have a visual to look at the same time instead of just a list, which pretty much anyone can make. Even the names, as hard as it may be to make a name, anyone can make them. Next up, you've got the grass normal type, Eucalyptus, who evolves into the grass poison type, Eukolala. Which is freaking cool. It's a koala Pokemon. Why don't we have a koala Why don't we have a koala Pokemon? What the hell's going on? Jeez, did he eat like a poison bamboo? Jeez. Pufly. Great, it's just a useless Pokemon. Puffly the bug type. Just kill it whenever you see it. Graveon, a ground type. That's a ground type evolution. That's dope. It's got a freaking knife tail. I wish I could make these out better. Dude, this is so cool. Again, remember that in the case that these are real, these are drawn off based off memory, so not all details are there, and which is why this thing just looks like super jolly Eevee. Look at this. You've got a little baby ground serpent Pokemon called Lombrix, who evolves into Lombernix, and then finally spreads its wings and becomes a fairy flying type Lifair. I gotta admit, this little trio right here, this evolution line, would be perfect as like the pseudo legendary of the region. So this would pretty much be like the Dratini, the Dragonair, and the Dragonite. I really want this to be true, this one in specific. And then Roachbai, who evolves into Roachra. What? That is a devious. This looks like Sceptile pokes his head out of a little stuffed toy. This thing just looks like a freaking menace. Comes from the moon. You don't know if any of these come from the moon, who knows? Then you have Libeleon, who evolves into Libel Green, which is a little annoying bug Pokemon, but it's a bug psychic type. It's just cool to see what potential type combinations could look like. So a bug psychic type, a bug flying type we've seen, but like a fairy ground type. That's exactly what I would have freaking imagined for a fairy ground type. But then we get to the cool part. Ziguni, Sevipup, these are pre-evolutions for Zangoose and Seviper. And then you've got Drudable, the pre-evolution to Druddigon. It's just so cool to finally see pre-evolutions again, because Kalos introduced 0 pre-evolutions, just so weird. These seem like the fossils of the region. So you got Comindra, who evolves into Coandria, and then Amarta Fish, who evolves into Osama Fish. Freaking great. Rock water types. Ridereef, who evolves into Riderfoot. Freaking grass dark type. That is the creepiest thing ever. Aquirzo, the ground poison type, who evolves into Spesta, the ground poison type. That's cool. That looks like a very like beastly fast moving thing. Like you just see, it's like a shockwave that's moving. Snoreon. For a second I thought it was an ice type evolution, but I'm stupid. Snoreon, the ice type, evolves into Pohologon. Jeez, dude. Freaking dragon-esque Pokemon, but except without being dragon types. This one's cool. This one's cool, especially since it's just a pure ice type, because a Pokemon can have wings, but they won't be a pure ice type. Look at that! Pickup! This is the Pokemon we saw in the teaser trailer, the 3D wireframe model. This is it, Pickup, who is a fire flying type. Makes sense. It was red, who evolves into Navazel. That is a very cool little evolution chain right there. Night Mini, who evolves into Sign Spectre, who evolves into Escalafrogon. What the hell kind of demon is that? Dude, that is like freaking Cockazoo. That's scary. It reminds me of like, you don't have any like really eerie ghost types in Pokemon, so this is actually pretty cool. But then you've got a dark type. Oh my god. Zwitros, the dark type, who evolves into Atrosox, the dark steel type. This is so cool. At first, this Pokemon just looks odd. Like, I swear this thing looks like a freaking cow that's standing up. Then it turns into this like Deoxys-esque Pokemon. It's weird. Like, I wonder if in the case that these leaks are real, if it has to do with Pokemon coming from the sun and moon. Because it totally makes sense, especially with like Deoxys coming from space. It almost seems like it's like, how do you just have Pokemon that live out there? Like, we all know there's species out there, but it's just odd for randomly, oh, here's Deoxys, oh, Clefairy's from the moon. There's got to be so many more Pokemon, and some of these Pokemon have to be it. Acrodrill and Detavolt, an electric dark type. You know, these two actually seem like game counterparts. So like Acrodrill you'll get in Moon, and Detavolt you'll get in Sun, in that sense. This is a crazy cool concept. You've got Empire, the normal flying type, and depending on what you do, it either evolves into Flamepire, other like Flampire, the fire flying type, Blizzpire, the ice flying type, or Wadspire, the electric flying type. I love that. I love that. I really want the Tyrogue syndrome again. The Tyrogue, it's just so cool, man. So many things that Game Freak just hasn't done again. But then we're getting to the end of this list. Leviathan, a dragon water type. First time since Poké we've gotten this thing. If there's ever a Mega Goodra, that thing needs to be a water type. But then you get Draco Modo, the dragon psychic type. Again, these two seem like counterparts, like Leviathans in Moon and Draco Modos in Sun. Ojblee evolving into Coptodream, the psychic flying type Pokemon. I can't make much out of that. Like, what the hell is this? A fan with wings? That is not... What is... I can't make it out. It seems like a winged horned creature, but like, where the hell is its face? Whatever. You've got Crittler, the fire type, who evolves into Ligrowl, the fire dark type, and then Growltrum, the fire dark type again. That is so freaking powerful the way it sounds. Look, a little freaking muncher who just turns into this giant freaking gobbler. It's like an alligator. Oh, jeez. Arcan, the fairy type, who evolves into Arcasia, the fairy dragon type. I know Altaria is a fairy dragon type, but to have a permanent Pokemon be a fairy dragon type just sounds powerful, man. Like, it's like the most majestic powerful you can get. Urangorid, the fighting grass type, who really looks like a humanoid Pokemon, who evolves into Impaniago, the fighting grass type. Damn, dude, fighting grass, such a potential-filled freaking type. Imagine that. Now, why would a Pokemon like this be at the end? Click it, the normal type, who evolves into Vladkoon, the normal ground type, really gives me the Diggersby feel. Jabberby evolving into Jobichamp, evolving once again into Jabberwocking. What? Jabberwocking? The dragon flying? You can't do that. That doesn't make sense. That's not real. It's probably pronounced Jabberwocking, not Jabberwocking, but the dragon flying type. Back to the basics. You know what's cool, actually? It may very well be just Jabberby either evolving into Jobichamp or a Jabberwocking. So it either turns into a dragon fighting type, which is a solid typing, or your typical awesome dragon flying type. I follow these kittens. What the? Shiraka? Moderator. Great. Let's get to the legendaries. Fairy Breed, the dark fairy type. And Bralgu, the dark fairy type. What? And then Sercoris, just the pure fairy type. You know, these three must be a trio. These three have to be a trio, like a fairy trio. It can happen. You've had Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus, where Tornadus just oddly doesn't have a second typing. This really seems very possible. Just in different games, almost like, you know, Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf. They really do look like they could be like protecting a certain area. Like if you guys remember in that previous leak list, which was really weird, but they had this cool concept where it was almost like there's these three Pokemon that almost defended and protected the Sundial and Anastar City, and they were the time Pokemon. Of course, the leaks probably aren't real, but this is just a really cool concept to have these three fairy-type legendaries who just protect things, you know, probably protect like the Sundial too. It's a cool concept because it's Sun and Moon, and there's a Sundial, there's a Moondial. It'd be cool. Look at that, Dark Fairy and Fairy. Maybe one of them protects the Sundial, one of them protects the Moondial, and then one of them's above. Oh, Borapoppet, the freaking huge beastly poison dark type. I love that typing. Poison dark is amazing. Only one weakness. It just looks so cool. Jeez, I really wish I could make these out better, but this thing just looks like a four-legged beast. A tank that can take hits, that's also fast, and also delivers blows. It almost looks like it's got like freaking growing wings almost. Like it's got these huge arms right here, as well as the spikiness, which is probably the poison. Wordabard, the psychic dark type. This is cool because the way I'm looking at it almost seems like there's a face up here as well as a face down here. Almost like Wobbuffet. How its tail, the little tail also has a face. It's almost like it's an entire being, but the top being is standing on the bottom thing and just freaking flies through the skies. Psychic dark type. Really cool typing. But one thing I noticed is that this is a W Pokemon and this is a Y Pokemon. Moving on to Uviant, the psychic fire. What the hell kind of beast is? Oh my god! It's the Armageddon Pokemon. That's its head. It's got freaking beastly bodies and arms. It's gonna kill you. You know what? These two are counterparts. One game. Oh my dude! This is the Moon Legendary, and this is the Sun Legendary. I don't know if it means anything like W, X, Y, Z, but these have to be the Sun and Moon Legendaries, unless it's all the way back here somewhere. But then the center legendary, the water poison Ornipus. Freaking, this thing just looks like the all-knowing, underestimated freaking god. But hey, the reason I'm showing you guys this list is for you guys to just speculate and have an open mind. That's why I told you guys to pretend or just imagine that this list is real, because for all we know it is. There's no confirmation, but it has a ton of really cool concepts. Even if there's only 3 pre-evolutions, even if these things are really hard to make out, it's just so cool to see these things. It's like looking at a full fan dex for their prediction on the next Pokemon games. It's just really cool to look at fan art like this. So, you know what? Let me know your thoughts on all this as well, because there's a lot. Like, I just love some of these concepts. These three are one of my favorite with the whole protecting like thing, but one of my favorite here has to be this for sure. To finally have like an eerie ghost evolution chain. So that is it for this list, but I'm gonna continue to look on 4chan to make sure there's nothing that I missed. But just remember that whenever a leak comes out, for the most part, there's always like a fun discussion that can be made out of it. Something as small as just seeing the pre-evolution for Zangoose, Viper, and Judagon in unconfirmed core leak brings up the discussion of just pre-evolutions and how it would be and what, you know, purpose you could give to a pre-evolution and how you can make it evolve. All of that stuff, there's always a fun discussion that could be made if it is the right type of leak, but I'm gonna continue looking on 4chan. Sometimes you get trolly things like this, which is just a silhouetted Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil that people are trying to figure out what it is, and you get things like this, which is just a silhouette that some random person made. There are two more, great. Oh shoot, nice Fakemon there. What? That's hilarious! I made it! I made it to 4chan! I don't even like being here, but I made it! This is hilarious. That's the face. That's the face when there's a new leak. Beautiful. Oh my god, what a beauty. So based off what you guys tweeted me, this is the leak you guys were talking about. It's just cool to finally have something like this. I'm only gonna cover news and leaks that have a fun discussion like this, so it's cool to see concepts like this. I know I'm freaking saying this a lot, but I really like this. And remember that with any leak, there's always stuff to talk about. It's not just about it being real or fake. So that is all time for this episode. Be sure to leave a like and let me know your thought on this list. Again, not confirmed real, not confirmed fake, but such cool ideas and concepts. Kind of weird that someone just came home from their Game Freak job and drew all this. Remember their typings and all that. Of course, it's over the course of many days, but it's just super fun to look at things like this. So be sure to subscribe if you're enjoying the countdown to Pokemon Sun and Moon. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.